teams emerge from down below. Leeds United led out by Pascal Struijk. And Watford's skipper, the vastly experienced Moussa Sissoko. The Watford side has had hard times on the road in recent weeks. Conceded 10 in their last 3 championship away fixtures. And the one that hurt most, I'm sure, was the 3 conceded at Luton, their arch-rivals, at the weekend. So on the back of that, there have been numerous changes to the Watford side that emerges from the tunnel here at Ellen Road this evening. Leeds United's team for this game will be the same side that started the last game. Daniel Farke more than happy with the way his players performed in that one, both those who started and those who came on from the bench as well. Watford, 6 changes that head coach Tom Cleverley has made to their side, a couple enforced through injury, but others, no doubt, the repercussions from that damaging defeat against their local rivals, Luton. There's the Leeds side to confirm, with the settled look to it, you would say now, after all the upheavals. And interesting to note, there are 2 birthday boys in that starting 11. Joe Rodon and Brendan Aaronson, who we heard from before kickoff, are both celebrating birthdays today. As is Paul Reaney, who we have to mention. I think he's 80 today, isn't he, Paul? He's still about 8 years old in terms of energy levels and enthusiasm. So a very, very happy birthday to one of the legendary Revy boys in Paul Reaney, and he will be no doubt in the stadium, I would imagine, somewhere this evening. Tony nods. He most definitely is. Where else would Paul Reaney be on his 80th birthday?
He's actually in the Norman Hunter suite with his family, so enjoying the game.
Brilliant. So hopefully maybe catch up with Paul after the game, but the 2 lads on the pitch will be hoping that they celebrate a birthday. And from Joe Rodon's perspective, the only card that he wants this evening is a birthday card, because he is one of 3 Leeds players currently 1 yellow away from the suspension, and the wipeout date is quite some way off yet. So there are 3 Leeds players who are walking the tightrope on that basis, Firpo and Bogle being the other 2. The 2 sides are in their respective huddles, Leeds all in white and Watford in their yellow shirts, red shorts, red socks at the other end. And again, as ever, Ellen Road full to the rafters here, and the Leeds fans hoping that they'll see their side pick up very much where they left off in that game against Sheffield United on Friday evening. Piroe stands over the ball, ready to get the game underway. Leeds United will be kicking towards the south stand in this first period. Match referee is Anthony Backhouse. Makes all the checks. He's ready to go. And Joel Piroe is the man who will touch the ball first. The game is underway. The roar goes up. And Leeds with Tanaka in possession in midfield. Already getting a good feel of the ball even in these opening seconds. Rothwell to Firpo, and then back into his own half to Pascal Struijk. Despite those problems that we mentioned Watford have had away from home, at home they've been really good. And their home form is a direct contrast in terms of wins and losses to their away form. So they are a side who do win matches, and they are only 3 points behind Leeds United in the table. So whatever you may say about what they've been like on the road, they will draw level with Leeds if they turn that form around tonight.
They're dangerous, simple as that. They've beaten Sunderland this season, and we couldn't manage that. But you're right, away from home they have struggled, leaked a few goals, so we've got to give them exactly what they expect, and that's a really tough game and a really quick start.
It's Watford who have the ball, at least for the time being, up in the Leeds half. That one spins out of play. And Firpo is the man who's gone there to pick the ball up. Last time these 2 met was at Vicarage Road, second half of last season, late on in the second half of last season. A 2-2 draw. Leeds reliant on a late equaliser from Matteo Joseph to take a point from that game. That was A match that suggested there were a few potential wobbles coming. Leeds here, hoping it'll be smooth sailing for this one this evening. They have the ball now with Ramazani. His little layoff is not to anyone in a white shirt. And then the strong challenge coming in from Pascal Struijk to win the ball back for Leeds. Bogle now can cross the halfway line. Pushes it on to Gnonto. Gnonto comes back into his own half to Joe Rodon. And then Rodon sees the ball go via Tanaka to Struijk. Rothwell back into his own half to Pascal Struijk.
Just looking at the way Watford are setting up as well with 5 at the back. And no one really wants to push out onto Bogle. I think this right-hand side really showed a bit of a field day. And there we could see Kayembe trying to come across, but makes a mess of the challenge.
Yeah, it's a bit of a cuff, wasn't it,
yeah,
around the chops of Aaronson there. So Leeds have a free kick, which is taken Ramazani. Wriggles this way and that, and plays the ball into Gnonto. Curls across into the middle, good ball as well. Players were arriving. It was cleared away, and Leeds tried to build again. They've conceded possession. Tanaka tries to scoop it to Struijk and then goes in hard to win it back in the midfield. Good work from Tanaka, and you'll hear the applause ring around Ellen Road. Really doing his job well in there. Here's Bogle. Gnonto back to Bogle. And now Rodon, 27 today. Pascal Struijk spots the run down the left. The space in front of Firpo. First touch is a good one. Just held up inside the penalty area, so support in the shape of Ramazani. Shot on goal! Keeper's dropped it, and it hasn't quite gone over the line. Yes, it has! It's in! Terrible error from Bachmann. Leeds United take the lead early on here at Ellen Road. Well, it was worth the try, wasn't it? Bachmann was butterfingers and dropped it over his own goal line.
A bit of luck goes our way. Have a shot, you never know what can happen. Largely Ramazani just lets fly. It's a long way out, but Bachmann, that is awful. Absolutely awful. Just like a slippery bar of soap. He couldn't quite get both hands on it. It goes through and sneaks across the line, but really good play. Excellent from Firpo as well. Defender got back at him well, but then he spots Ramazani, who just cuts inside and lets fly. It's in the middle of the goal as well. It's a poor mistake from Bachmann, who I think wasn't 100% sure he was going to play tonight. The manager's probably thinking, well, I wish he didn't. He just made a howler.
Well, you can say what you like about VAR, which obviously doesn't operate in the Championship, but Hawkeye does. And Hawkeye makes the call on occasions like that. That's why there was the slight delay afterwards, but the Hawkeye call was made.
I've always loved technology. I think it's fantastic. Right, great start for us, isn't it? Now, in the 5th minute, we're 1-0 up. Got to keep doing exactly what we're doing. And that's what was so impressive for me against Sheffield United. When we did go 1-0 up, we kept doing exactly the same thing. Pushing on, tempo, closing down. It was really good, and we got our second goal. And here it's early, but same thing, just carry on.
Leeds handed a gift and have won the ball back well here through Aaronson. Runners to right and left. Gnonto's one of them. Into the penalty area. Shot! Oh! Inches wide from Gnonto. And he knows how close that was to a swift second.
Sissoko is moaning to the referee, but soft. He goes down. We break really quickly, and how often does Gnonto just find that half a yard and goes through the legs? Difficult to defend against. Trying to find that bottom far corner. He almost did. Bachmann as well is so near to that near post. Poor position from the keeper, gets away with it.
I thought that was heading in. So I'll let off for Watford, and they're trying to make the most of it as they attack now. Rodon with a challenge. What a tackle that is. Went in a little early, hung around long enough to be able to make good contact with the ball and get it clear.
Yeah, had to make sure he got a piece of that ball. You're right, he was down there, but got a vital touch.
And here comes Bogle. Some start to this game. Nicely into the path of Gnonto. Whips his ball in near post. Keeper's flat. Oh, it's there! Aaronson! Brendan Aaronson tucks it in. And inside 7 minutes, such scenes here because it's Leeds United 2, Watford 0, and Bachmann is having a nightmare.
What is the keeper doing? Fortunately, he's having a nightmare, but awful mistake. But again, it's just nice, positive play down this right-hand side. Just too easy. Gnonto gets it. I love the early cross as well. Takes a slight deflection, but the reaction from Bachmann is slow, and all he can do is push it straight into the middle of the goal. Try and push it somewhere that is worse than that position. Well, he can't, because that is shocking. Go on, Brendan, help yourself. And he does.
A simple finish for Brendan Aaronson. Notches his 3rd of the season. And again, well, it's a night for birthdays, isn't it? And Leeds are being presented gifts here for sure. And Brendan Aaronson, on his birthday, has accepted one. Struijk with the header. Well, I mean, this is why football is the best sport, isn't it? Because you continually see stuff you've never seen before. And we're seeing it again, perhaps here, as Leeds inside 10 minutes, 2 up. And there, look at that skill from Ramazani. Requires a thumping challenge to get the ball out of play, and it's left Ramazani in a bit of a heap on the turf.
Yeah, certainly was a fierce challenge. He's got his arm in the air, and that's not good. I didn't think actually it was that bad, but clearly Ramazani has felt it. He goes past one and then gets booted by the other. I just wonder now, Tom Cleverley, the Watford manager, must be looking at his players and say, right, who's going to give me a reaction? Well, there was one. That was a fierce challenge, but he's going to learn plenty about his players, because away from home, that's where you need to be solid. That's where you need to be mentally tough. And they haven't. They've been weak. And here, they're already 2-0 down, but we won't have to worry about that. What we need to do is just keep pressing ahead, keep scoring the goals.
Yeah, there's no scope for Leeds here to take the foot off the gas,
No,
is there?
certainly not.
Bachmann offering encouragement. I mean, a vastly experienced goalkeeper, Austrian international many times. And he's just having one here. The man at the other end, obviously, Meslier will have sympathy. It's the one position on the pitch where errors become calamitous on the basis that the outcome is often a goal, as Brendan Aaronson will testify. Ramazani is back on his feet, although not looking entirely comfortable, to say the least, as we suggested in commentary on the game on Friday. And the one thing you'd say with the wide men is there are the replacements available for Leeds, with Solomon and James on the bench. In fact, both are currently warming up down below. But you would hope that Ramazani, having played his part in goal one, don't think he'll get that first goal, will he? I think that will go down as a goalkeeping own goal. Much as I'm sure he'd like to claim it. He's not come back on yet, so Leeds are currently with 10. And,
surely Ramazani will get that. It's on target, isn't it? And it slipped through his hands.
It's a good question. I don't know.
If I was Ramazani, I'd be thumping the table saying, that's my goal. Let's hope he's okay to come back on.
Sierralta for Watford. Now the ball is in the centre circle with Kayembe. Tanaka goes into the challenge just to hold Watford up around about the halfway line. Then they move the ball out towards the right-hand side. Ramazani's back on the pitch now, as the away side spend rare moments in the Leeds half, at least in the context of these early stages. Larouci manages to work the ball around Bogle and Rodon before Bogle gets back at him. And Chakvetadze, the Georgian international. And it's Morris being pushed back and back by Gnonto's presence. Good work there from Gnonto. Well, obviously, Bachmann would anticipate now that any time the ball goes near him, the home fans are going to have a little bit of fun. Ball out, given away. Heavy touch, and was really lucky to win that back, Tom Ince. And actually now Watford have been set on their way with a run through the midfield, and then Larouci on the edge of the penalty area. Struijk does the sensible thing, just gets on the end of it, puts it into touch.
Nice, we just need to get back on it, don't we, now? Whether it's with the ball, whether it's down.
Well, Ramazani has gone down out of shot, and that increasingly looks like his night may already be over. So that is an early blow, and indeed Dan James, I think, has just been called back to the dugout now. So Ramazani has seen his night come to a very early end. Now Solomon is the man who's going to be coming on, and he's stripped and ready to go. Maybe they'll make one last attempt with Laji Ramazani here, as he has another chat with the physio. Here's the challenge.
Yeah, certainly fierce and late. Clearly has caught him. I thought he rode it, but clearly not. Actually, a supporter before the game talked to me about Laji Ramazani and says, why can't he last 90 minutes? I said, well, when you've got James and Solomon on the bench to come on after 60 or 70, why would you? And that's the benefit, I think, of a big squad. Well, now they have to come on a bit earlier.
Yep, Ramazani's breathing's up, and he'll be applauded all the way towards the touchline, because his was the effort that brought the first goal. Ramazani, hopeful shot from edge of the box, fumbled over the line for the first of Leeds 2 on the night so far. So it's all been happening here inside 15 minutes. And here is Mana Solomon to come on as a ready-made replacement. Solomon himself, who's had his injury issues in the last few weeks, fit again now.
Yes, he came on, didn't he, in the previous game? Didn't really get into the game very much at all, but been out for a few weeks. Hopefully that got rid of the rust, and let's see how he goes tonight.
Watford go all the way back to Bachmann. And that anticipatory roar goes up again. Bogle with a header. Aaronson to flick on. Rothwell is behind Solomon. Firpo just nipped into the challenge and did enough, basically, against Ebosele.
Well, Ebosele just picked the ball up and charged, didn't he?
He it was who tackled the Laji Ramazani when he was moving down the touchline, which has led to his departure. And again, look, he's going into a battle there, isn't he? Not once, twice. How many fouls can a man commit? I mean, there were 2 in there, surely, weren't there? He's caught Solomon, and prior to that, there was a little drag back pull as well. None of those were given. Larouci along the halfway line. Sierralta back to Bachmann. Clears it successfully, semi-successfully. Tanaka wins the header. And Watford just inside their own half in possession. Sierralta again brought into the side in place of the injured Ogbonna, who went off before the end of the game against Luton. Rothwell, good work from Rothwell, nipped in ahead of the Georgian there. Meslier lets it run across his body before he clears onto the head of Gnonto as well, with a header in the air there. Watford pick up possession quickly with Larouci, and then again Tanaka, the other midfielder, comes in and makes an excellent challenge, leaves his man on the ground, and the game goes on.
Well, let's play on. It's not a head injury. No, for goodness sake.
That isn't meant to happen.
No, it's not meant to happen. And it's clearly not a head injury. He's just got a knock on his knee, and you just play on.
Kayembe the man down.
Here we see excellent from Tanaka. Brings the ball cleanly, but down the Watford man goes. And now he's okay.
So Leeds, who had the initiative and had the possession, see the game stopped before it'll start again with an uncontested drop ball. Rodon just gives it to Bogle. Ups the pace a little. Maybe that's key for Leeds United, is keeping the pace high. Gnonto protects the ball, gives it back to Rodon, and then to Struijk. Now Rothwell for Leeds. Back it goes to Rodon. Bogle waits out wide. It's closed down now, but he has the ball anyway. Oh, he's found Aaronson in a big old pocket of space there in the midfield. Now Gnonto. Bogle's gone on the run, and he's going to be played in here. Gets to the byline, cuts the ball back well. Headed clear. Tanaka comes in quickly for Leeds to pick up the ball again. Really good work by Gnonto and then Bogle. Bogle has stayed forward as Gnonto has possession again. Leeds on the halfway line with Rodon.
Plenty of space, isn't it, out there? Good movement, good passing, great
goes Aaronson again. Plays the ball into Piroe, who's in the penalty area. Takes it in for the shot, holds it up. Players waiting in the middle. Well, he went for goal. And they were waiting around the penalty spot. White shirts are plenty. And it was blocked and took a deflection, and it's gone out for a goal kick.
Well, that's actually great play to deceive two defenders. But once he then gets his head up, you're right, there were options to his left. Rothwell on the edge of the box as well. That is great play. Any defender, any young defender out there, do not go to ground, because that's what can happen.
That's me. Bachmann with the clearance.
Getting you up's the problem.
Tanaka goes in to try and win it back for Leeds United. There's a foul on the halfway line committed by Junior Firpo. And the free kick is taken quickly and taken square. And Watford in possession on the centre circle. Oh, great work by Rothwell. Piroe, and then it's held wide for Solomon. Attack the penalty area. Trying to get forward. He may end up with a corner kick. He does end up with a corner kick for Leeds here. Took two to stop him. And Leeds still have this set-piece opportunity.
Once again, just really good closing down in that midfield area. Deny them space and time. Are they good enough to play around us? Well, at the moment, they certainly don't look to be. And now Rothwell on a corner kick. Can we score from a corner in consecutive games? Here's the thing. Come on.
We shall see. Rothwell would love to make that happen here. And no doubt something is being cooked up as the ball curves in. Nice shape on that, but headed away well. Leeds lose the opportunity to keep the pressure on the edge of the area. Aaronson and then Rodon. Neither actually make the challenge. But Solomon's having a go now. And between the three of them, they still can't hold up the significant figure of Baah there, who battered his way through.
Actually, Baah's done well, doesn't he? Strong. A few challenges he had to fend off.
Lots of space for Larouci. Just outside the penalty area. Into the box it goes. And then push back a little ways to Morris. Into the midfield, still midway inside that Leeds half. Morris again. Gnonto goes to pressurise, but he's played the ball round him. And now Watford in the centre circle with Pollock, former Leeds United youth player. Gets the possession back once more. And then Watford content for the time being just to hold it on halfway line. Now they probe and step forward, but Struijk times his challenge well. And Leeds can look to counter-attack quickly with Gnonto. Plays it into Piroe. Piroe, nice first touch. Second touch, not so good. And the third touch spins into the hands of the goalkeeper.
Oh, that's a great chance as well. Gnonto, I thought, wasn't going to play it early. Eventually he did, but you're right. Good first touch. Second one, certainly not so good. Allowed the defender to get back.
Leeds springing the counter-attack. And, I mean, Watford have no option, do they? But they have to push players forward. That's... Even at this early stage, you would think that would be the case, to get themselves at least a foothold back in this one, as Tanaka chases against Chakvetadze. Great tackle. And Bogle comes in to try and complete the job, but doesn't manage to do that. And now it's in the penalty area, and it's driven across the box, and it's coolly defended by Firpo and by Rothwell in turn, when Ellen Road was hoping somebody was just going to hoof it out, and then Bogle eventually comes in and gets a foot to get the ball into touch for a Watford throw, which is taken really quickly. Morris. Leeds fans just raising the volume a little here, realising perhaps that Watford are fighting in this game now, intent on trying to get something after that calamitous opening 7 minutes. Meslier, as no free kick is awarded for the challenge on Baah. The keeper is able to just pick up and then walk it to the edge of the penalty area, where he gives it to Tanaka. Leeds with Solomon. Now Rodon. He goes to Pascal Struijk, and now Junior Firpo back to Struijk. Back into Meslier. Struijk again. 3-0 to Leeds the last time these two met at Ellen Road. Struijk pushes the ball wide to Tanaka on the ball now.
Seem to remember last time Watford came to Ellen Road when they lost 3-0. They were poor, weren't they, that night? Here they're going to have to show a lot more than they have so far to get back in this game.
Trying to do just that now with the ball with Larouci. Back into his own half to Morris. Whilst Leeds have had that brilliant opening, they have to maintain defensive discipline here as Larouci is able to carry the ball forward. And now Chakvetadze just outside the penalty area gives it back to Larouci. Bogle tries to keep him away. Now it's Morris. Chakvetadze back into the path of his teammate Morris. Leeds pressing, forcing Watford back, and then losing out because Larouci's nipped into the gap, and Rodon makes an important challenge just on the edge of the penalty area to give Bogle the opportunity to get the ball back for Leeds.
Decision of the challenge was excellent, timing perfect. Didn't want to allow Larouci to come into the box, made sure he made it outside, and a good interception.
Sense that the fans are just intent on Leeds to up the tempo again a little bit here. I mean, the easiest thing in the world, I guess, to go up 2 goals so quickly and then kind of wonder whether that's a job done pretty much for the evening, but it's the Championship. We'd never assume that. Referee gets in the way, and that will be, I think, a drop ball for Leeds, will it, as a result? Not quite Bobby Madley dramatic from those who watched the Sunderland Hull game at the weekend. Oh, is there a whistle issue?
There's some problem somewhere.
We may need a replacement P, perhaps.
Bachmann's checking the bottom of his boots. I'd be checking the gloves if I was him.
Yeah, he's had 2 moments that he will not relish looking back at. And as we say, it is the ultimate in terms of that position that he plays in.
And who'd be a goalie, by the way, I have to say.
For sure.
Yeah, any sort of mistake like that, it does end up in the back of the net, unfortunately. He has made 2.
I played half a season at university in goal only because I was told I had to if I wanted to play. It was miserable.
Yeah. Not easy. And we saw the strapping, didn't we, on Bachmann's thigh as well, so clearly has an injury problem there.
Bogle with the ball back. Now Meslier. Struijk on the edge of the area. To Firpo. Just does enough to earn Leeds United a throw in. 27th minute here at Ellen Road. Leeds United 2, Watford 0. Both goals inside the opening minutes of this game. Aaronson got one of them. Ramazani probably the other. Suddenly a little shuffle and a move through the middle here opens things up a bit for Watford, and Leeds are on the heels on the edge of their penalty area as the run is into the middle. Rothwell gets there, and then Struijk gets there, and then Leeds just about through Solomon, work it to Firpo up the line. Aaronson manages to get past his man but not to keep the ball in play, and that'll be a Watford throw in. This is a Watford side now scrapping for their lives here, isn't it?
Certainly is. You would have thought some of the players for their future as well. But just some defensive work from Struijk there again. So far he's been really solid, hasn't he? Got his foot in at vital times, and that's what we need to do. Make sure if we keep that clean sheet, we're going to take all points, all 3 points.
Larouci just put a little bit of pressure on his teammate there, and Gnonto almost capitalises. Rodon right up there as well, and then Bogle is penalised for just leaning across his man, a little unluckily perhaps, and he will have to retreat, and Rodon will do likewise as Watford take a quick free kick.
Chakvetadze, he's got a bit of ability, hasn't he, the Georgian? Looks pretty good, but he's playing up top, but he will drift and drop back in just to try and get in between the lines. Got to try and just deny him the ball.
Misplaced pass comes off the head of Gnonto, and it'll be let to roll out by Matty Pollock with Manor Solomon on his shoulder.
It's just a strange part of the game now, isn't it? We're 2-0 up and everything's a little easy, but just got to keep that pressure and tempo going.
Rodon to Gnonto, and now Tanaka. Back it goes to Rothwell. Leeds want to get the momentum going in a forward sense again here. Rothwell to Aaronson. Aaronson to Tanaka. Gnonto through the middle. Does well. Works Struijk into a position where he can carry the ball forward for Leeds and put it into the path of Firpo. Puts his cross into the box, and it's just deflected behind. There were plenty waiting in there, and it's a Leeds United corner.
Oh, Piroe was there just waiting, I think, across the 6-yard box to tap it in. A good forward run from Struijk. And the ball across didn't quite get to our number 10.
So Leeds have the chance to put another one into the penalty area with Rothwell going to the far side to put this one in. Joe Rodon, hands on hips, waits in the middle, still to score his first Leeds goal. We're in the 30th minute. Rothwell takes the corner kick for Leeds United. Struijk goes in, stoops to try and head the ball goalwards. Doesn't quite succeed, so the ball is cleared out. Bogle, the only man waiting there to collect. Is it again on the halfway line? The big guys who are up are now back. Rodon, one of them, gives it to Rothwell. Ups the pace, Joe Rothwell, as we saw in the last game, to really good effect. Solomon back into Firpo, and then Tanaka curls his pass across the pitch to Bogle. Rolled in, now Gnonto from Piroe. Gnonto one way, then the other. Good save from the goalkeeper. Lovely, lovely skills from Willie Gnonto. The drop of the shoulder to left, to right, then the powerful shot, and Bachmann kept it out.
Oh, it's excellent play. What about that touch from Joel Piroe? And over, gets it back as well. Wrong foot's the defender, finds his half a yard. Bachmann this time uses his gloves to good effect, unfortunately.
Well, he's got a bit of making up to do, it's fair to say. As Leeds have a corner kick from the west stand side. So Rothwell will take the anticipated outswinger here. Goes a little deeper, heads up from Rodon, headed towards goal. Then a panic in front of the keeper there, and Sierralta just nods it into touch again.
We look at different beasts from corner kicks all of a sudden. The delivery, whether it's the near post in the middle, deep, such as this one was, we seem to suddenly now be getting on the end of them. And you can practice free kicks and where to run, but if you don't get the delivery right, it's absolutely pointless. But Rothwell, his delivery's been really good. I've jinxed him now, haven't I?
Yeah. He's got the chance to do it all again here. This time goes short to Solomon, who's in space on the edge. Curls his cross to the far post. Tanaka was waiting there. And he made good contact on it, but he was just a little too wide of goal to be able to trouble the keeper.
I couldn't quite hook it back either. But short corner paid off. Just a little overhit from Solomon, but he was getting in there. Actually, it's a really good ball. Defender just about did enough.
Bachmann takes the long option. Bounces beyond Struijk, but Rothwell's in, busy to collect for Leeds and get it back again as well from Bogle. Now Tanaka gives it to Firpo. He can have a little run here if he wants. Selects to give it to Solomon instead, who just cuts it back to Tanaka. Now Firpo down the left-hand side. And Solomon on the ball, gives it to Tanaka. Rothwell, Tanaka, and then Solomon once more. Rolled into Firpo. Little break for Aaronson. Aaronson runs into his opponent there, and in doing so loses the ball. And Gnonto with a good block. Ince with the flick. Chakvetadze back into his own half. Again, Leeds press to good effect. So it goes back to Bachmann, who just about whips it away with Piroe lurking, but that's straight onto the head of Tanaka. Nice little flick from Gnonto. Piroe waits in the middle. If Aaronson could get the ball to him, he'll hold it up and give it to Bogle instead. Short pass back to Aaronson from Bogle. And again, in it goes to Gnonto. Manages to just direct it back to Rothwell. Leeds switch right to left. And back into the middle with Tanaka. Weighs a pass into the path of Gnonto to shoot. You know, that was a good effort. We're over his shoulder for that one. It hit the back of the head of Sierralta. It was heading for goal.
Excellent work again. We move the ball really quickly. I love those angled balls into Aaronson or Gnonto here in acres of space. Takes it really early as well, and why not?
Rothwell makes the run over to the far corner. Prepared to take another Leeds United corner. Corner count is beginning to grow now as Leeds keep the pressure on that Watford penalty area. Rothwell's ball in, flick, forwards, far post, Tanaka back into the middle. And nobody could quite get on the end of that one just to turn it over the goal line. What an acrobatic leap from Tanaka to get it back into the middle. Deserved an outcome, that one. Oh, that's a late one. That's a bad one. That's a really bad challenge on Pascal Struijk. Well, yellow's coming out. It's that same man again.
Ebosele.
On that right-hand side, and Struijk
flying
has been caught.
Flying into
really
challenges.
One, wasn't it?
It was, because you could see what was happening all day long. Struijk was always getting there first. The only good thing is I think Struijk was just about off the ground with his left foot when he collected the ball. Maybe he wasn't. Hopefully he is okay, but I think that will go down in the notebook of Pascal Struijk, and then he'll remember that one. And I wouldn't want to be Ebosele.
Well, Pascal Struijk is still sitting on the grass, but they haven't sent a physio around to have a look at him, so we assume that all is well and he will be able to carry on. Leeds having already lost Ramazani to injury in the early stages of this game, with 10 minutes to go before the interval. And Leeds have a free kick. Rothwell looks like he's going to opt to go short. In fact, Firpo does that. Rothwell picks the ball from him. Now Tanaka. Oh, Rothwell's giving it away. And it's picked up through the midfield. Tanaka's trying to win it back for Leeds, but it's Watford with Larouci now who have it. Chakvetadze back to the halfway line, and Morris and Sierralta. And now Pollock. Just a sloppy moment from Rothwell there. Brendan Aaronson goes in to try and get the ball back in Leeds possession. Doesn't manage to do that. He goes out for a throw-in.
It was sloppy from Rothwell. He just put his hand up and said sorry, but I will go back to the previous corner kick. That another brilliant delivery from Rothwell with Firpo gets the touch, and Tanaka couldn't quite turn it in, but we certainly look a load better from corner kicks. Of course, the goal will help with the confidence, but almost got our third one from that last corner.
You can see that they've obviously had Tanaka going in, making the late run to that far post area. And twice he's found himself on the end of balls into the box in that position now. Piroe, Firpo. Good lay off that into the path of Solomon from Aaronson. Solomon emerges from a crowd and Aaronson has it back again. And Bogle's all alone on this right side. The pass is under hit and it's intercepted. And Bogle's got to get back into his own half and is penalised there for that challenge. Oh, the card's coming out. That's a suspension for Jayden Bogle. So I think that means he misses next week's trip to Bristol.
That was Tanaka. I'm just looking at what did Tanaka do once the ball went. Here, the challenge was made. That was and he's the one that put the leg out, Tanaka.
Could be right, and if so, that would be good news for Leeds United. And Tanaka looks like the man who has been yellow carded. Jayden, it's all good. Confirmed. Struijk with a header. Beyond Aaronson. Watford have the ball now back in their own half with Pollock. And Sierralta just about plays it around the oncoming Leeds player. Chakvetadze to Morris. And then back to Sierralta. And Leeds continue to press. Piroe and Bachmann. Almost a slip there. That gave Leeds a glimmer of hope that they might pick up the ball in an encouraging position. And again, you might say, but Pollock's managed to get it onto Ince. And Tom Ince has the ball back again. Watford in possession on the halfway line with Kayembe. Again, that man Larouci occupying a position of space down the Watford left. Runner forward in front of him there is Sissoko, and it goes back for Chakvetadze! And Meslier has to go full stretch to get fingertips to that, to push it behind for a Watford corner.
Excellent save from Meslier. Needed every inch of his big frame there. Good play. There's no doubt Chakvetadze is a danger. Allowed him a little bit too much space, but a good stop.
So Leeds defend a corner kick for the first time so far this evening. Something of a hush as the ball is curled into the middle of the crowd. Meslier gets a hand to it. What on earth is the referee giving here? He's given another corner kick to Watford. Meslier, in the midst of all of that, says he was being held. But there was quite the crazy crowd around him as that ball curled in. Same again, no doubt, here. There's a queue of Watford players just outside the 6-yard box. Again, it's curled in. Meslier underneath it, couldn't get to it, and then the head from close range, a good position, sees the ball go over the Leeds United crossbar, and there are players underneath the heap there who've taken a whack, and Meslier is bottom of the pile, and he is back on his feet.
Well, the giant of Gnonto was right at the bottom of the pile. Not sure what he was doing there, but we didn't deal with those two corner kicks very well at all. And there was the first one. And the second one, two Watford players at the back stick, flying in that just about goes over.
And you'd see that Watford would very much have identified the set pieces as a route back into this one. Pollock trying to make his significant presence, physical presence, felt in the penalty area twice there. Meslier spots the opportunity to give the ball direct to Firpo. Gets it back now. Out it comes to Rodon. Now Bogle up the line. Gnonto can't return the pass. It's taken away from him by Larouci, but Leeds have the throw in.
You can see this Watford side, they seem to be slowly but surely taking more oxygen in. They seem to be now back in the game. At 2-0 down after just a few minutes, they certainly weren't.
Morris all the way back to the goalkeeper. Clears up into the Leeds half. Rodon's header goes straight up in the air. Foul is given against... Oh no, it's offside there actually. I thought it was a little push perhaps against Rodon, but Leeds have the ball and they take it intelligently to Gnonto, who gives it to Bogle and back to Gnonto. With 3 minutes of the first half remaining, plus a little bit to be added on for the Ramazani treatment. Firpo back to Struijk. Now good ball to Aaronson, nicely laid off, or almost nicely laid off for Manor Solomon. Just a tiny bit too much on it. It spun away from him and into touch for a Watford throw.
Well, that was unfortunate. Good ball from Pascal Struijk. And the Ince pass just a little bit too heavy.
So Watford with the throw in. Pollock will take it. It's a bit of distance on it beyond Firpo. Rodon with a looping header forward. And then Solomon can't keep it in play, so it's another Watford throw, but this time up in the Leeds half. Before it's sent back into Sierralta. From him it goes back to Bachmann. Skims the ball out for Chakvetadze. Rodon can't do much with him. Chakvetadze opens things up here for Watford with a charge, and then the ball over the top, which drops down into the path almost of Larouci, with Bogle tight to his back, and then it comes back for Ince. And then Ince taking on Bogle, gives it back to Morris. And again, Morris forced a little back. The ball back with Sierralta on the halfway line as Leeds press and win the ball in a good position perhaps here. Solomon lets it run across his body and he'll carry it forward for Leeds now. There are 3 making their way forward on the edge of the penalty area. Firpo comes to join in. Firpo behind Solomon, now level, and gives it back to his teammate on that left-hand side for Leeds. Little ball into the penalty area, tried to play it through the gap for Firpo there. He's done really well to go in and win it back for Leeds United when the ball was initially lost. Tanaka back to Rodon. Leeds come again with Rothwell now. Rothwell again just increases the pace and gives it to Firpo. There's lots in the penalty area. Solomon's one of them. Tries the little drag to get onto his other foot and isn't able to do that without being tackled in the process before Leeds win the ball back again. Quite a tussle going on there. Players falling around all over the place. Tanaka goes down, and have Leeds ended up with a free kick at the end of all of that?
Very worried about a head injury. Just boots were flying all around the place.
Yeah, Tanaka got caught in the midst of it. He is more than happy to go in where those boots are flying, though, the Japanese international.
Actually, it was just it was just the Watford player trying to get the ball with his body, crashed into the head of Tanaka.
So the game will restart as we await the board going up, with Leeds being given possession here. Rothwell goes in. Leeds keep the ball, as they are allowed to do. And now Struijk. 5 added minutes. More than I was anticipating. Tanaka to Firpo, and now Struijk. Now Bogle. Rothwell was waiting in the middle, but Bogle went back to Rodon instead. Now Pascal Struijk with the field in front of him. Elects to come square instead to Rodon. Watford being invited to chase up front. Struijk sees the run down the left side of Firpo on his head. Sierralta with a clearance that goes to Ince. The flag is raised for an offside. And that will be the chance for Watford to get the ball back up towards the halfway line. Bachmann comes out of his penalty area. It's quiet, isn't it, Ellen? It is. At the moment. There's Bachmann. Well, what do you say?
I'd love to hear what Tom Cleverley is going to say to his goalkeeper at half-time, and I think it will be actually words of encouragement, because his confidence must be extremely low. As we saw, they're just booting it straight out.
Yeah, you would think there is a significant suggestion that you might just put a few in, see how he's and prepared to deal with that, like the Ramazani effort just came in. Rodon's pass to Rothwell's given him a challenge here. Meslier's got to get this one quickly. And that was all a bit of a mess for Leeds, but they've emerged with possession and they may yet profit from it. Firpo. Just the worry in these added minutes that the concentration dip. Bogle. Good running from Aaronson. And plays it back into Gnonto. Gnonto's into the penalty area, goes this way and that again. Tries the shot, takes a deflection on its way towards goal. And that takes it beyond the goal and out for a corner.
Oh, James Morris just got a nick on the ball, but awful defending initially from Morris, who turns his back, goes the wrong way, and Gnonto, quick as you like, cuts back to the outside. There you can see him turn, but does enough in the end, just about.
So Leeds would like to finish this half with more pressure on this Watford goal, perhaps even another goal as well. Rothwell has the chance to see if he can become provider once more, as he was in the game on Friday night. Rothwell with two hands raised. Drops the corner into the middle. Rodon was waiting, but he didn't quite arrive at his head. Piroe is still in there battling. And then the ball drops out, and Piroe knows that it was a Leeds corner, so he just holds his man off to allow the ball to bounce over the line.
Another good delivery. Everyone has been on the money in a dangerous area. That time Watford dealt with it a lot better than previous efforts.
So Rothwell again to put the ball in the middle. It's going to be a different corner this time. Comes in short, headed away by Ince. And Aaronson delivers it back into the path of Bogle in the centre circle, who's happy to go back with less than 90 seconds remaining here to the goalkeeper of the first half at least. Rodon now with the ball, calls in teammates, and then stops and gives it to Tanaka, and then gives back to Meslier. And Meslier back to Rodon. Chakvetadze putting a shift in to try and get the ball back for Watford. Sierralta drops on the back of Piroe's head. Some swinging arms there as Ince is playing it back to the keeper. Into the final minute of the 5. Rodon with a header. Foul on Rodon there as well. Just an arm left in. Caught him.
I don't know why players do that when they're not even looking at the ball. They're just going to run and jump straight into the defender. It's just a foul all day long. We'll take it.
Back to Meslier now. Struijk pushes it out for Junior Firpo. Firpo comes back to Struijk, and then it's with Rothwell and Bogle and Rodon in the last few seconds of this first period. Leeds keeping possession and now just beginning to maybe try and do more than that. Solomon skips inside one challenge, not the second one. And that's the last action of the first half. Well, it was a half that had an explosive opening, courtesy of two goalkeeping errors. Leeds United swiftly found themselves 2 goals for the good. Ramazani's shot dropped over the line, and then a cross that was just pushed into the path of Aaronson, and he stuck it into the back of the net. And that's the last of the goal scoring. Seen some good moments from Leeds United, but there's still a little bit more work to be done here, you suspect, with a half-time scoreline of Leeds 2, Watford 0.
Yes, Watford certainly came bearing gifts, didn't they? 2 absolute howlers from their keeper. Then after that, they slowly worked themselves back in the game. We'll be a little disappointed, I think, that we're not further ahead. And Watford will be thinking, well, you know what, 2-0 down at half-time, we'll kind of take that after the start they had. So you're right, still plenty to do, but we're in a comfortable position. But another good performance in the second half should see us home.
Leeds have created the foundation. Now they've got to finish the job. Half-time scoreline, Leeds United 2, Watford 0. Leeds chasing the 3rd goal in this game, hopefully at the start of this second half, having made that super start to the first. Possession conceded. Piroe and Pollock are in a Right old tussle off the ball there,
Well,
rolling
Pollock's
over
ridiculous.
each other.
Well, Pollock was just grabbing him and holding him down, WWF style.
Ball is on the halfway line. Away side have it. Chakvetadze. Now Larouci. And then back to the halfway line to Morris. Watford moving it around quickly here. Larouci in field to Chakvetadze. Back it comes to Morris. And then further back to Sierralta. Sissoko just about keeps it away from Aaronson in the midfield. The long ball is intercepted by Struijk. Off the chest and then back to Rodon. And now Bogle down the right. Stops and starts via Rodon to play out from the back again. Struijk clips it forward. Solomon flicks it on. Easy header from the back for Sierralta. Now Sissoko plays it out to his right. Struijk is trying to keep his man out, but he's failed, and the run is into the penalty area, and it's stabbed goals, and it's in! And Watford pull a goal back right at the start of the second half, and Baah gets a bit of a lucky bounce perhaps, but that puts the away side right back in the contest. It's Leeds United 2, Watford 1.
Well, we haven't started in the second half, and that tempo that we had in that first half just suddenly disappeared. Pascal Struijk, who defended ever so well in the first 45, was beaten. All ends up here, and Baah does really well. And when he follows in the ricochet, he tucks it away. Right, now, boys, let's respond. Let's wake up and get back in this game and start controlling it.
Well, yeah, there's a real job to be done here now. He's suggested it at half-time. Didn't expect it maybe to manifest itself so quickly. It's a sloppy ball, but Struijk just gets to it first. And Tanaka, of all people, is the man who acknowledges the error. Now Bogle. Out it goes to Gnonto, taken off his toes though. So Chakvetadze moves it forward for Watford now. Tanaka rather, with a sliding challenge just on the edge of the penalty area. Bogle stumbles, Watford win it back. And the away side try again, and they'll have a corner kick. And they have been buoyed by the goal that they came out looking for at the start of this second half. And having got it, they'll feel they are very much back in with a chance of taking something now.
Well, we talked at half-time about just getting that third goal and putting the game to bed. Well, this is the exact opposite. You're right, Watford think they're right back in it, and they are.
So Leeds are defending a corner kick. And the in-swinger under the crossbar. Good punch from Meslier this time. They're dropping everything in, right in on the keeper. Larouci picks it up and attacks the area. Blocked by Tanaka, comes back for the Watford man. And his effort hits the top and south stand roof before dropping back onto the playing surface.
That was a really good punch from Meslier. He'll always be under pressure there, whizzing the balls in. As you can see underneath the crossbar, men flying in, but big and strong, good punch.
Struijk back to his keeper. Out it goes to Bogle. Bogle's pressed and hemmed in and gives the ball away, and these are all the things that weren't happening in the first half. As Watford win it back again here with Pollock from the back. Gets the return pass. Played on for Ince. Rothwell goes after him, but Ince has picked out the pass to Chakvetadze. And then it's a short ball. And played into the path of the onward coming Pollock, and then it's dropped off Firpo, and it needs clearing by Rodon here. Sure how it ended up in that place. Leeds with a lot of bodies in the way, but they're defending again here with Firpo doing well. Stood his ground. And when it's cleared away, Sierralta beats Piroe to the ball. And Watford again start from the edge of the centre circle. Crossfield ball, swung out for Larouci, does well. First touch gives him the chance to attack the penalty area. In he goes, gets the shot on, just over the top from the Watford man. And Bogle, arms outstretched with his teammates there, because Leeds are still not up and running in this second half.
What is going on? All of a sudden, Watford look a different side. Unfortunately, so do we. Larouci here just taking a punt. Fortunately, always flying over the bar.
Meslier signals players forward here. Leeds need to play in the other half. They've not been in this Watford half in this second period. Pollock, easy header ahead of Piroe. Struijk will chase knowing that the ball is going out, but that gives Watford the signal to move up the park and aim to keep Leeds in a similar area here.
Watford's closing down and energy is suddenly at a lot higher level. They're certainly really interested now in this game compared to after the 7th minute in the first half.
Pollock wins the throw. Aaronson wins it back. Goes down. Foul. First free kick, I think, in the second half, that one. And Leeds have it in their own half. And just need a spell on the ball here.
We do. Get a few passes in. Try and break their lines down again. And yes, Watford are in our faces and flying at us, but can we be just composed enough to play it through them and hope to get another opportunity on goal?
Struijk puts the long through ball.
No.
That's easy. And it's too easy concession of possession when you haven't had much. Sissoko in the midfield. Better press on the edge of the box, and now Bachmann gets it way beyond Gnonto. Tanaka, good play. Firpo has the ball. Now Solomon to attack the box. Solomon, good work on the edge. Plays it back to the edge of the area to Gnonto. So passes under hit, and Bogle's not going to get there. And Watford suddenly sense there's a chance to throw players forward in a counter-attack here as Leeds race to try and get back. And Gnonto's gone down on the halfway line, clutching his shoulder, which the referee has stopped play for. I guess consistency means that he has to, because he did the same for the Watford player in the first period.
I just wonder, is it his shoulder again? He was troubled by that a little bit, wasn't he, in the game on Friday?
Didn't they, in the aftermath of the game? Not sufficiently bad to keep him out, but
he seems to have felt that one. Unfortunately, the pass that Gnonto actually kind of got in the way of, he should have actually let it go for Bogle, who was there in a good bit of space on the right-hand side, but controlled it and then underhit the pass. The referee thought it was a head injury, which is fair enough.
The game will resume with Watford on the ball as Leeds subs emerge down below. And Sissoko and Piroe with having a little dance down there between the two. There's Sissoko had his arms around Piroe, and then it switched positions as the ball goes through for Meslier to collect in his penalty area and roll out to Joe Rodon. Leeds fans are trying to do their bit now, sensing, well, it's an easy one, isn't it? Sense that the impetus is with the away side at the moment. Firpo didn't really want that to happen, and the ball rolls out. It's maybe just indicative of that sloppiness, if you like.
Yep, just got to work hard to get back at it.
Pollock. Rothwell goes after it. And it goes all the way back to Bachmann. Rodon, little nod down for Gnonto. Flicked back up for Rodon. He has to head it on again. Gnonto couldn't quite get it past his man. And then well won by Aaronson ahead of Sissoko. Just what Leeds need, that sort of desire to get on the ball. Rothwell, though, has lost it badly to Chakvetadze. And Watford have runners to the right. And the ball is played out to this side to Baah, the man who caused the problems to the Watford goal. And he's going again. He's fallen over and looks long and hard at referee and assistant, and then comes in and clatters Solomon, and then points his finger at the referee in a fairly threatening manner. And the referee may have further words here.
Well, I just think Baah knocked it through and then went down so late. Trying to buy the free kick. Rightly so, didn't get it.
Well, the card's coming out, but I think it's for Tom Cleverley, who has said something out of turn on the edge of the technical area. Oh, he's clapped for the decision. And it's that ironic clap, sarcastic clap that has earned the Watford head coach a yellow card. He continues his protestations with the fourth official down below. And then the game can start again. Tanaka. Struijk. Firpo. Quickly closed down. It's a bump in the buttock.
I'm looking now, a lot of these short balls we're playing, we need something a bit more longer over the top, into the channel, just to stop Watford just coming at us.
Piroe. Looking for the run. Solomon tried to provide it, but it was stopped before he got to him. Tanaka now. Now there's a little bit of space down the right for Leeds with Bogle. Gnonto. Bogle's got the ball now. Again, the pass from Gnonto is just a little under. And it's cleared away, and you heard the frustrated groan of the home crowd there.
Yes, fans certainly making their feelings known. It was an easy ball as well, but unfortunately, just sloppy again.
Bogle all the way back to Meslier. Out it comes to Pascal Struijk. Tanaka in between the two central defenders. Rodon has it. Now Struijk. Solomon tight. Pollock.
That's a foul.
Nothing given. And Ince is able to stride forward for Watford. Plays it wide to Baah. Solomon's done well to get the first challenge in, and then the second one sees the ball go out for a throw-in, as Solomon protests, suggesting he should add a free kick at the start of all of that.
Well, he's right. Pollock has just grabbed him, and somehow free kick not given.
So it looks like there's a long throw being planned here, as Baah has taken the full distance he can, and all the players in a Watford shirt have gone and headed into that penalty area. In it comes, up in the air, it's dropping. Struijk with a header away, helped on by Aaronson. Ince picks it up. Aaronson goes on the chase as Morris is on his own in the centre circle to pick it up, and Aronson's chasing, at least sees the ball back to the keeper Bachmann, who puts it over the top. Firpo's got to defend it with a header, but it's dropped for Sissoko. Watford have got plenty of bodies still forward here, down this right-hand side. Ebosele, and then the challenge from Firpo is a foul, and now the card comes out, and that is Junior Firpo to miss a game.
Well, that's disappointing. You've got to defend better than that. And down Ebosele goes. Beats him all and up. Not much of a grab, but enough to go in the book.
So Firpo yellow carded. This is fifth. So he misses Bristol City, a man who's provided so many assists for Leeds in recent weeks. Attendance tonight 34,968. 719 of those are travelling fans, and they're watching on from the West Stand at the moment as Watford have a chance to put this ball right in the danger area for Leeds United. Meslier bouncing around on his line, but he's lost in the midst of a sea of players there. Ince it is who will take the free kick for Watford. Curled in, just pushed away from under the crossbar by Meslier, and that's actually a really good save. Leeds suggests the final touch was off a Watford player. The referee disagrees.
Well, I think he saw that really late as well, through so many bodies that were in front of him. Just reacts quickly enough. Thought Pascal Struijk might get a touch, which then would have taken it away from the keeper, but good stop.
He's got to do it again here, as Ince has stayed out wide to take this corner kick for Watford on the hour mark here now. Curled in under the bar again. This time Struijk heads it away. Larouci, and then Rodon leading the charge here. Gnonto's alongside him. Gnonto pursued by various Watford players, including Larouci. But at least it's at the other end of, well, it was, for the time being, it was at the other end of the park before Watford have got it quickly back into Leeds territory. But that's a ball that will be an easy pick-up for Meslier. Rodon just showing a signal of intent to his teammates there, I think, with that charge out. So, saying we've got to go and play the game at the other end here. Tanaka through the middle. Solomon laid off for Piroe. Now Aaronson. Aaronson has Bogle to his right. Bogle has the ball. Whips the cross in. Hits the post. Comes out for Gnonto. Piroe. Oh, he's put it straight at the keeper. Joel Piroe, usually the man to rely on there, but he knows that was a fantastic chance for 3.
Oh, just waiting for the net to ripple. Ball from Bogle, keeper once again beaten, all ends up. Gnonto scuffs his first effort, but once it falls to Joel Piroe, I thought, right, composure time from the Dutchman, tuck it away, and he couldn't.
So that was a big moment, Leeds' best moment by a distance in the second half. Watford now are making a change, and Sierralta is going to be replaced by Porteous. Porteous will go and play in the centre of that Watford defence.
Like for like swap.
Yeah. Leeds just giving the home supporters a glimmer of something there, but it could have been so much more. Ball is dropped for Bachmann to grab hold of. He motions his teammates up the pitch. He kicks the ball long forward into that Leeds half. Rodon's header. Aaronson challenges. Tanaka hoping that Gnonto can chase this one down, but it's an easy pass back for the keeper from Morris. Straight ball out. Pollock's going to be using Porteous. Porteous again. First couple of touches for him. Rothwell buzzing around in midfield. It goes beyond all of them. Struijk is battling with Baah, and then Firpo, and it comes off. Firpo for a Watford throw-in.
Certainly strong boy is Baah. And Struijk trying to get round him and was held off legally, says the referee.
So Porteous it is who will take the throw-in for Watford. Short throw. Gives it away. Tanaka. Firpo so tight in there. Tanaka, nice work to move it into space. Now Gnonto is up against Morris here. First touch is a good one. Still in possession of the ball. And then helping challenge for Morris comes in from Larouci. And it's nicked out for a Leeds United throw-in. And Watford have a man down in the meantime. Is it Ebosele? Way off the ball, so I'm not sure what happened there. And he will require treatment.
Excellent work, wasn't it, from Tanaka? Just to spin out of trouble and find a good ball up the pitch into the channel.
Watford are preparing another change here with Andrews, another one of those who paid the price for the defeat at Luton at the weekend in terms of his place in the team.
And you can see, yeah, Ebosele just put his hand up and fell straight to the deck, so clearly a muscular injury of some sort.
Which you wouldn't anticipate you carry on from, but we'll see.
Well, he's rubbing his calves and things, so is it cramp? Is it a slight pull? Let's see.
He's walking towards the near side touchline with a conversation ongoing with his head coach. Quite clearly is prepared to come back on. Andrew still waits.
Bit of cramp, it looks to me. He has worked extremely hard.
So finally the game can resume with the noise levels cranked up here as Leeds United are trying to create something to put the pressure back on Watford after a second half that the away side have made their own up until a few moments ago, as Bogle battles, can't get there though, and that will go behind, and that will be the goal kick that Watford wanted. And Bogle will have to head back towards the halfway line as Bachmann prepares to take it. Still, Ebosele is off the ball.
After 7 minutes, Bryn, I was sitting here nice and comfortable. I'm not now.
No. When was it ever easy, eh? Bachmann. Firpo beaten, well beaten. Now the ball is with Baah. So Firpo's come back at his man. So has Solomon, and he's done well. Tanaka. Oh, didn't really want that ball, I don't think, on the edge of the penalty area, but he actually did really well with it. Moved it from one foot to the other, drew the foul, and Leeds get out of jail there.
He did. Quick feet was excellent, but you're right. You don't want to be putting the ball in those sort of areas, giving Watford that sort of chance. This is going long, hopefully.
Well, it isn't, until Meslier sticks his boot through it now. Piroe, nice layoff, Gnonto. Oh, not the pass that Solomon wanted. Well, really Gnonto's trying, but his passes just aren't working, are they, in this second period? And that one should have been in front of Solomon. It went behind, so Watford have their throw in.
Radar just been a bit off, hasn't it? Unfortunately, he's got into some good areas. He sees the pass, but can't quite execute it.
Solomon's not getting to that one. Rothwell is. Solomon will get to this on the chest. Now at pace. Stops. Aaronson came inside. Maybe needed to get straight towards the byline there. He's not coming out of this crowd with the ball, surely. It is given away at least to Tanaka. Weighs up his options. Gives it short to Firpo. Into the hole for Solomon. Solomon's still there. Still Solomon. Oh, Bogle was waiting to his right, and Solomon eventually delayed and then took the shot, and it was blocked, and it was easy for the keeper.
Oh, you're right. Bogle in acres of space on that right-hand side. You were nice and patient. Eventually, the ball that came to Solomon was a good one. But look at Bogle waiting.
Ball is in the midfield. And now Larouci on the touchline. Chakvetadze gets it away from Gnonto to Morris and gets it back again. Comes back for Pollock. And now the recovered Ebosele to Porteous. And back into the D to Pollock. Watford retreating a little here, but then managing to work the ball forward to Chakvetadze. Across the middle to Ince. Ince has a runner to his right, but he's carrying it himself just for now. Now he plays the ball in. Tanaka's seen the danger and done brilliantly well to slide in and intercept it. And now he needs to clear it.
Wonderful.
He does. And it's not a bad clearance either. It's a race between Porteous and Piroe. And Porteous it is, Pollock rather it is, who just gets there ahead of the Watford man. And now Tanaka again. Started all that. Great work once more. Holds off the challenge of Ince. It was a foul. Now Gnonto through the middle. Gnonto, Piroe's in the penalty area. Oh, and he's held on to it. He stepped over it, and he's missed his opportunity.
Just wonder, was Gnonto, could he have shot? Yes, he probably could have done. Decides to give it to Piroe. Not always the best option, but unfortunately, in the second half, we haven't quite picked the best option. What is he doing down on the ground there? Is it?
Well, he's come back onto the pitch, hasn't he? Because he was off it, so he's rolled himself back on.
Here we see the ball's an excellent one from Tanaka. Actually, the ball is a good one, and it's the right option, but just takes too long. Larouci shows good speed to somehow get back around. Another one goes down. Ebosele again.
Another Watford player hits the deck.
And at last, we're going to make a couple of changes. I think this could have been a little earlier. We just need some fresh impetus, don't we? Not a surprise. Joseph and James look to be lined up to come on.
Well, there's got to be some gaps at the back now, haven't there? Because with 20 minutes to go, Watford are still chasing it here, despite the fact that their players are, I don't know whether they are trying to buy themselves a breather here or whether there are genuine injuries. I remember the first half saw them chasing around quite a bit, but still, Ebosele surely can't carry on, because you can't be down this long and still take part in the game, can you?
I wouldn't have thought so. And if it is cramped, and that's the second time, then as soon as he moves quickly again, it's going to grab you again. So let's see.
He is about to be replaced, isn't he, by Andrews here? The gloves are coming off, which actually means that he's also coming off. So there is another change, is Larouci, who's being replaced by Sema. And there's confirmation of that second Watford change. Now Leeds will make changes as well. So Mateo Joseph is going to come on for Joel Piroe. And the other change will be James on and Gnonto off. So the two new Leeds players try and get the job done here, help Leeds over the line.
And now we've got a raw pace, haven't we, up top, certainly with James on that right-hand side, and no doubt Watford will have to take more and more chances, which means we will get a chance or two on the counter-attack. Can we put it to bed like we did against Sheffield United?
And I guess the job is no different, is it? Maybe the circumstances feel very different here. The half has been very different as the ball immediately comes in from that foot of Dan James down that right-hand side, and it almost puts Joseph in. Leeds get a corner.
Well, that would have been a heck of a substitution, wouldn't it?
One to the other.
First touches for both, almost.
This is Leeds' first corner kick in the second half, isn't it? Having had plenty in the first period. So Rothwell with the task of getting the ball into the Watford penalty area here. Curled in, heads up and cleared, and there's a foul in there by a Leeds player. Unidentified, and it will be a Watford free kick. So Leeds have to head back swiftly to the halfway line. Played out. Not the best ball from Pollock, but they get away with it. Has to do something similar again. Leeds chasing, as Morris plays it onto the head of Rothwell. Aaronson can't quite get there. Sissoko, pass to Ince, has the runner Andrews flying forward down to his right. He has the ball now. Andrews checks back to Porteous. Leeds win it. Solomon, Firpo, Joseph needs to be strong. Solomon, and then Joseph goes to kick it again, and it works a treat. He did that quite deliberately, didn't he, Mateo Joseph? He kicked it against his opponent, and it spun off him, and finally went into touch a little further down the line.
Yes, good play. Let's just see if we can control things from here on in.
Firpo, ball in hand. Solomon back to Firpo. Pushed to the ground there, quite clearly by Andrews. Picks himself up a little slowly. Busy times for these Leeds players, many of them Tanaka and Firpo, who you can see there in particular, all the travelling they've had, and then 2 games in a short space of time. Still at it. Aaronson, who also did a lot of travelling. Solomon manages to keep the ball in. Thought about, I think, for a second going down there, and then realised there wasn't enough of a touch, and he would have been yellow carded. So he stayed on his feet. He's still got his cross in. Bachmann has taken the free kick from the wrong position, not once, but twice. Now Watford finally are successful in getting the game going again. Chakvetadze, Rodon gets a foot around him to hook it away from him. Aaronson back to Struijk. He may go back to Meslier here. He does. Meslier, just a long ball forward. Pollock and Joseph. Pollock easily wins that one. Challenge is now with Firpo. Good ball. Tanaka. There's a bit of space. And players out to his right. James is one of them. Bogle's the other. Played in path of Bogle. Bogle cuts it back into the middle. And it goes right across the face of goal. And it swings out. And not a Leeds shirt there to apply the coup de grace.
Excellent play once again. And once Bogle gets it on the right-hand side, just clips it too high for Joseph. No one on the back stick. I thought it might have drifted inside that back post. Well, he's hit the post once already. That one a little bit too wide.
Tanaka with a chest down to Firpo. Lofted forward for Solomon. Tanaka goes in to win the ball from him. Aaronson. Leeds with all those bodies still don't end up with the ball. And Watford it is with Morris in possession. Played forward to Chakvetadze. Offered Bogle a glimmer of a hope there, but then took it away from him. And then Watford find themselves with a bit of space down the right here with Ince on the halfway line. Porteous under a bit of pressure, so it goes to Pollock and then to Morris. Into the centre circle, Kayembe stumbles, but Leeds couldn't make the most of that. Porteous, back it goes to Pollock. Across the back to Morris. Runners, and one of them surely offside. Yeah, the flag is raised against Baah. Set off way too early there. Leeds held the line.
Once again, just have to be careful, keep concentrated, keep defending well. There's a unit at the back, and you can see that certainly was a good line. Pascal just steps forward, knows Rodon is just there ahead of him as well, catches him offside.
Here is Pascal Struijk with the ball forward for Joseph to go after.
Excellent.
And works well because Pollock can do nothing. I'll slide across Matteo Joseph and then has words with him, somewhat bizarrely, in the aftermath of that. Now they're all friends again.
Well, you say friends. That's what you want from a sub that's just come on. A number 9, run those channels, give me a ball out from the back that's up the pitch.
Here's a little ball in from Aaronson, and Solomon tries to get it across the keeper. Well, it was a lovely, lovely little reverse pass from Brendan Aaronson into the path of Manor Solomon there. He couldn't get enough power in the shot to trouble the keeper.
Angle was always difficult. I just wonder if he could have pulled it back again. Joseph wanted the ball, but worth a go. Didn't beat Bachmann this time.
Goes back to the goalkeeper. Joseph. It's given away. Good work by Joseph to force the error. Tanaka. James into the penalty area. James into the middle. Headed goalwards. Joseph with Aaronson on his shoulder took control and saw the ball go over the crossbar.
I think Aaronson was in a better position coming onto the ball rather than Joseph coming away from the ball, but the ball was given away. We win it back well. And this little clipped cross from Dan James was a good one. Aaronson was there. Joseph heads over.
Bachmann's goal kick. Tanaka, lovely. But he's run back into trouble, and he's a tad lucky that he got the decision perhaps there, but he has had a clip on the ankle. He was feeling it, picks himself up swiftly. Now Rodon into the final 10 minutes of the 90. Bogle. Joseph against Pollock. Header comes down for Solomon through the middle for Leeds. Loads of space on this near side. Firpo left alone as Tanaka carries it forward and gives it to him now. Back it goes to Aaronson, to Rothwell, and back to Tanaka. Looking for the runner perhaps here. Centre circle Rodon. Now there's space in front of Bogle. They've worked this well, left to right. Into the middle it comes to Solomon. Solomon onto his right foot for the low shot, just wide. I think Bachmann knew that, just pulled his arms back in and let it go beyond the post.
Always going wide, but good jinking play initially. Just to go one way, then the other. Opens up the space nicely, but the shot never endangering the keeper.
Watford calling for another replacement. As Firpo makes the block, keeps them in their own half. Vata is coming on, who's a young player they've brought in from Celtic. As the ball goes onto the head of Firpo. Porteous, fouled by Joseph, just made a little back for him there. Kayembe lets it roll for Sissoko to take the free kick. The ball is with Watford on the left side, their left side. Tanaka intercepted. Ince flicks it beyond Rothwell, but then he wins it back. He just puts the ball up for Dan James. James moves into space on the edge of the area. Played into the middle. Joseph with a header. Straight into the hands of Bachmann. It was a brilliant ball from Dan James. And Matteo Joseph couldn't direct it away from the goalkeeper. 4-3-1, but Leeds trying to win this one back. And they do win it back with Firpo. Firpo into the penalty area. Firpo trying to get it into the middle, takes two deflections and again ends up in the hands of the keeper.
Oh, Kayembe is down, hand in the air. Firpo's down, but just through sheer exhaustion. And what excellent play it was from Dan James. And if anything, there was just a lack of power on the cross. It was a perfect one, so that means Matteo Joseph had to generate the power, and he didn't. Here we see taking on the defender, cuts inside. That little scoop cross is superb, and Joseph, rather than just touching it, needed to either let it drop and volley it or really charge in, but couldn't quite do either.
So another lengthy delay, which means that there is a long way to go in this game yet, despite the fact there are less than 9 minutes, well under, in fact 7 minutes remaining.
Strange old game, isn't it?
Yeah,
it really has been an odd one.
And in all honesty, Leeds could have wrapped this one up, couldn't they, in this last 15 minutes or so?
For sure.
Chances have been there.
Well, we finally cleared our heads. We've got control back again. And we're making chances, but that age-old issue of not quite converting enough. Actually, I thought that's probably improved recently, but not tonight. Again, in the second half, we easily could have had a couple of goals.
Kayembe still receiving treatment. And Watford have the two subs waiting anyway to come on. Doumbia is one of them. He's an absolute giant, so I would hazard a guess at how they're going to use him. And Vata is the other substitute, and Vata is a teenager, but I think he's an attacking player as well. Still we wait the game to start again, because Kayembe is walking towards this near side touchline. One would imagine he's one of the two changes, but that hasn't been confirmed yet, because the two subs have not been brought on yet still. Leeds fans offer a rousing chorus of marching on together as we into the final 5 minutes of the regulation 90 here, plus whatever is to be added on some distance beyond that, you would imagine. Again, at last the game is back underway. Firpo's header into touch into the hands of the waiting sub. Kayembe looks like he wants to continue belatedly. Sent back on. Thrown down the line by Porteous. Firpo wins the header. Struijk with the second ball. Aaronson, back it goes Firpo, Solomon, and then Aaronson can't get the flick on. Ball in the chest of Tanaka. Game goes on. He clutches his chest in pain. Sissoko. Morris back to Pollock, and now Porteous to his right. And then a ball played through the middle. Rodon underneath it as well. Just lets the ball drop in over his shoulder, and then one bounce and it's out for a goal kick. Now the changes are being made. So Baah is the first to depart. Doumbia is, by the look of it, going to come on for him. And the second man off, perhaps inevitably, is the old war horse himself, Moussa Sissoko, in midfield. And Vata will go in there to replace him.
Yes. And Mamadou Doumbia, as you say, rightly gone up top, hasn't he? He's a unit. Expect to be a bit more direct. We've just got to hold on, see it out, defend well, concentrate. To win a vital 3 points, but still some time left yet.
Struijk with a header for Leeds. Kayembe couldn't get there. Joseph, now Firpo, spots the run of James over to the right. Drops just short. It wasn't a handball, it came off the upper chest there. So the ball is carried forward by Sema. Aaronson in pursuit, but Sema's got past him and Bogle. He's still going, and and he's got it all with a ball way beyond the edge of the penalty area. I was anticipating he was going to put it in the box then, but did something very different. And he has the ball again down that left-hand side. It was brilliant approach play, and then a weird cross offside. So Leeds get a free kick after all of that. What was he thinking of?
What a weird passage of play. Bogle as well actually had a right swipe at him. If he connected, that would have been his 5th yellow card. Yeah, you see, timing of the challenge was awful.
That's one of the worst attempted fouls you've ever seen, wasn't he? He was nowhere near him.
The cross from Sema, I don't know what he was thinking of, but really good play, because he took it right from the edge of his own 18-yard box all the way to the other end.
Attendance confirmed, but still much work to be done here at an anxious Elland Road. Ball bounces in front of Dan James. Who'd have predicted that after 7 minutes we'd be sitting here nervously watching on? Well, I suppose we should have known.
Probably everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Who am I trying to kid? Oh, late challenge on Bogle there. Porteous caught him. Leeds free kick. The opportunity, if Leeds want to take it, to put it in the box. They don't. They want to keep possession instead. Struijk, Firpo, Andrews. So it goes back to Struijk. It's got to go back to Meslier. Doumbia chases. Long one forward. Joseph gets it down for Aaronson and gets it back. And now James is in. Down the right, he's into the penalty area. Dan James! Brilliant save from Bachmann. And he pushes it up and over the crossbar. And that was a big moment. Leeds could have won it. And Bachmann kept them in it.
This is another big moment in the second half, just to wrap it up. Excellent from Mateo Joseph. Angle's a tight one. You can see Joseph on the 6-yard line if you could somehow have squeezed it through, but defender Andrews might have just got there. So instead, Dan James went for goal and couldn't quite stick it home.
Rothwell goes to the far side to take the corner in the 90th minute. Word with the assistant. Rothwell puts his ball in the middle. Rodon's header goes backwards, comes out for Aaronson. His shot goes up in the air. It's still there for Leeds. Joseph comes down for Solomon. Tries to curl his shot goalwards, takes a deflection, goes behind for a corner.
Oh, bizarre. Bachmann, the ball is so high, you expect your keeper to come out and do something with it. Instead, he was rooted to the line. And so we were gifted an opportunity that we couldn't quite take.
8 added minutes. So there is a way to go yet, folks.
8 minutes. Just looking at that replay, Bachmann clearly was hampered by the light.
Blinded by the light. Ball over on the far side then for this Leeds corner. In it goes. Struijk, look, his shirt has been pulled almost off his back there as Aaronson has to go back. And Bogle got it in, coming at him hard, so just put his foot through it. And Bachmann collects on the edge of the penalty area. This game is bordering on the crazy at times. Pollock to Morris. Long crossfield ball. Andrews beaten by Firpo. Porteous up in the air it goes again. Aaronson almost manages to put it into the path of Joseph, but not quite. So Morris can turn and go once more for Watford. Now Ince. Played through the middle. Tanaka trying to just keep his man away. Andrews comes back for Porteous through the middle. Now given away. And Aaronson goes back to Meslier. Meslier just boots it. And that one, that's one of the few times where I would have suggested maybe he tried something different. But Watford take a real quick free kick. Leeds fans say handball. Andrews from Vata, who has the ball back again. Returns the pass to Andrews down the right. Tussling with Struijk. And then Struijk is pushed to the ground, and Pascal Struijk earns plaudits there for managing not to foul his opponent and then to draw the foul from his opponent.
Yeah, he did well, showed plenty of strength. Just about didn't foul him, but both players' arms around each other, so ref decided to let it go, gets his body in the way and wins what is a really important free kick. We're, what, 2 into the 3rd minute of extra time of 8. Still some time to see out, but just the control we had on Friday night against Sheffield United, this has been anything but, unfortunately.
Championship, completely different game. And almost predictably unpredictable, frankly. Firpo with the ball. Joseph comes out for another Leeds throw-in. And Watford appeal it, but won't get it. Firpo ambles down the line to collect the ball. Byram warming up further down. As Firpo weighs up options. I don't think the option to Porteous' head was on the list, but that's where it went. Morris back to Bachmann. Bachmann stabs it out, he's giving it away. Well, Dan James went for the swift return with the keeper off his line there. And if he could have just poked it into the path of a teammate, the fact that Bachmann was nowhere near where he was meant to be might have led to something for Leeds.
Well, they're trying to give us another gift, but this time we can't take them. Bachmann with just an awful pass.
In fact, if James could have left it, couldn't he?
He could have done.
Ball is on the head of Rodon. Rothwell's beaten by Pollock. Aaronson, good ball. James trying to offer Joseph the chance, and now Morris does give it to Joseph, who will possibly head for the corner here. As we're almost halfway through. No, it's given to Aaronson. Oh, Aaronson, was he offside?
He's not offside.
That was doubtful.
Was he? I thought Porteous was just as deep.
I think the assistant may have had one there. We'll see. Maybe we won't see. Long ball forward. Rodon's header. It's going to go out of play. Back in the Watford half. Throwing back in the direction of Bachmann. And Bachmann do what you'd expect. Put his boot through it. It's flicked on. Meslier's got to come and collect it. Oh, goodness. Takes his time. Come on, Ilan.
I don't see any divots out there. We're okay.
Okay.
Everything's fine.
Pick it up. Jogs across the edge of the penalty area. 3 to go. Just over. I'm being optimistic. Meslier with a long ball. Joseph heads infield. Nobody waiting there in a white shirt. Porteous for Watford. Back to Morris. Puts it into touch, which is a good thing.
Yeah, just get organised, take our time. Keep everyone concentrated again.
Sam Byram is the lucky man who gets to come on for the last 2 3/4 minutes. Or less. As the ball goes out now, Byram will come on, and it may be Bogle, who is the replacement, or in this case, the man who's coming off is Nana Solomon. So Solomon, having come on in the first half, has gone off before the end of the game here, just to perhaps Leeds gain a little bit more steel down the left. Would that be?
Well, I think it's a case of just making sure defensively we see it out. Solomon came on really early, just added a lot of minutes into his legs. Hasn't looked the sharpest, as we saw certainly in the first few games, so he needs to work his way back, but that's a good stint from Alan Solomon.
Leeds throw in, which Bogle takes. Up in the air it goes. Aaronson couldn't quite keep it away from his opponent. Watford throw in. Morris will take it. 90 seconds remaining, so it goes back to Bachmann, who will be invited to boot this one as far forward surely as he can. Plays it down the middle. Struijk wins a towering header, and he's fouled in the process. Pascal Struijk got up so high then. Pollock again with a little word for his opponent. And Rothwell's not entirely impressed.
No, no doubt Pollock has put himself about a bit. The referee has missed 1 or 2 things as well.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise anybody to know that Matty Pollock's dad is Jamie Pollock, would it? I don't think.
Who'd have thought? But Struijk, nice and brave there. He's done that
as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's done that all game long, but he had to get his head there. But the problem is, as soon as you get up and in the air, just that nudge from the side, players know exactly what's going on. It is dangerous.
Little finger being pointed in the direction of somebody by Pascal Struijk there. I don't think he's very impressed with that challenge. Leeds free kick, and we are into the final few seconds of the added time period. Soon we'll be passing over into added time on the added time. Header on the far side, drops in the middle, flicked on by Kayembe, played through the middle. Meslier will come out. Oh, and just
Excellent.
lets it run back
That's
into his
okay.
own penalty area.
That was all good.
I always believed.
No, you don't.
Meslier with ball in hand. We're now in past the 8-minute mark. Mellier's ball down the middle for Joseph to try and find a teammate unsuccessfully. Bogle's header. Pollock on the halfway line, whistles around Ellen Road. Rothwell comes back for Rodon, just puts it into that Watford half.
Come on, ref.
And then it's played into touch. That will be a Leeds throw in, and the reaction says it all there. The frustrated boot away. Leeds are now in sight. And we are well past that 8th added minute. Bogle with a chance to throw the ball down the touchline. Told to get on with it by the referee. Down the line it goes. Headed back towards Rothwell. And then Aaronson can't get it under control, so it's out for another throw-in. Played an extra minute on top of the 8 as it's flicked back on into the Leeds half, and Struijk puts it back towards the touchline and beyond. And out it goes for a throw-in. And there's the final whistle. Well, Leeds went off like an express train in this game. 2 goals inside the first 7 minutes. Helped enormously by the Watford keeper. But after that, it has been a struggle. And at the end, it's a relieved roar that greets that final whistle, because Leeds have claimed another 3 points here at Ellen Road. But goodness me, they've made everybody wait and work for it. Full-time scoreline, it's finished. Leeds United 2, Watford 1.
Don't know what the problem was, Bryn. Wow, that was just a crazy game after going 2-0 up so early. You expect us then to get that third and make it comfortable, but anything but. And I talked about cleverly looking at these players to see what they're about tonight. Well, they came back well, didn't they? They responded extremely well. We really struggled, didn't really start very well in that second half, didn't kick on. Slowly but surely we got ourselves back in the game after conceding that goal, but should have put it to bed again. We had 2 or 3 really good chances. We couldn't. But in the end, our solid defensive work saw us out. But that, I think, is a vital 3 points. These are sort of games that the Championship will certainly turn up now and then, but to come out on the right side of things feels really good. So well done, boys. 6 points from 2 home games, and on we go.
So it's turned out to be an excellent birthday for Joe Rodon, an even better birthday for Brendan Aaronson, who scored the second goal, and a very happy birthday for a certain Paul Reaney, who's been watching on from the stands as well. One of the legendary Revy boys. All in all, a good end to the day. Leeds United have come through again. 3 more points. Full-time score, Leeds United 2, Watford 1.